Hi, in this video we're going to show you a free tool you could use to make animated GIF files on your computer. So you have the option to actually do a screen recording and convert it to an animated GIF, or use your webcam, or use the built-in Whiteboard. So you have three options there. Alright, so it's called ScreenToGif. So they have an installable version and a portable version. So I'm using the installable version. Alright, so there's several tabs here. So we have our main File tab, the Home tab where you can undo, redo, reset, cut, copy, and paste your frames, change their size, fit the image, and so on. And then the playback is where you will come to review your animated GIF before you export it. And you could loop it if you want and drop frames if necessary. And you can edit it here, delete frames, remove duplicates, try and reduce the frame count, play it backwards, loop it, that type of thing. So image, this is where you're going to do most of your fun stuff right here. So we'll be doing some stuff in here in a minute. And then you could add transitions between the slides. And then here you can see your statistics. All right, so to use it, we're just going to do the recording here. So what we're going to do for our demonstration is, let's say we're going to show somebody how to edit a photo real quick. So when we click on recording here, we just need to drag our box and make sure it captures everything we want. So let's say that's good enough right there. Then you can see here it's set to 15 frames per second. You can bump that up if you want. Then you have some options here. So we'll just kind of look at these real quick just so you can see what's there. I'm not going to go through all of them, obviously. If you want to have a system tray icon, have it start with Windows, recorder options, per second per minute, save to file, show the mouse cursor in the recording. So that's something you might want to disable if you don't want your mouse to be shown. Then there's some other miscellaneous options here. Editor options, tasks, shortcuts if you want to set those up. Language, storage options for your temp file location, cloud options. So if you want to select a service to upload it to, you can try that out. And you have some extras. And then if you want to donate and help them out, you can do that as well. All right, so let's do a quick recording here and just kind of move the mouse around and see how it works. Okay, I'll stop it here. So it's applying overlay to frames. All right, so here is our finished animated GIF here. Let's see if we can bump up the size a little bit. All right, so if we go home here, we could click on some frames here, cut them, copy them, resize them, have them fit to the screen. So here's the playback. So if you want to play your animation, and you can see the yellow mouse click when I'm clicking the mouse there. And we have our edit options here if you want to remove duplicates. So if we click on remove duplicates, all right, so we have 198 frames here. So let's click on apply and see what it goes down to. All right, down to 15 frames. So that's quite a reduction. It might be too much, so you'll have to try it out and see how it works for you. Or try the reduce frame count instead. Let's try that actually. So let's see if we can undo this. So we have 15 frames. All right, 198. So let's do the reduce. Here are your options here for reducing it. Click on apply. All right, so now we're down to 100. All right, then you have your delete all previous. So if you're on this frame and you want to delete all the previous or delete all the ones after, you could do that. Reverse it, yo-yo it. And then we go to the image tab here, resize, crop, flip, and rotate. So one thing to keep in mind is if you want to apply certain things to the frames, you should select the frames first. All right, so let's say we're going to add a caption. Let's select all the frames. All right, so I had this from before, so you could change the font here, the size, the weight, color, the thickness, the outline, the position. All right, let me make sure all the frames selected here because it didn't look like they got selected. So let's apply this. All right, let's play it back, see what it looks like. So we got it up there. And now you can see we have our text up there. So if we didn't select all the frames, it would only put it on the frames that were selected. All right, you have the keystrokes option here if you want to show keystrokes. You have your free text option here if you want to add some text somewhere specific and then move it around, like so. Right, then we have the title frame option here. So let's try this. How to edit a photo. You can change the size, the delay. All right, let's put this here. It says the title frame will be inserted before the selected frame, so you might want to make sure you're on the first one. So let's apply that. All right, so if we go to play it, let's let it get back to the starting here. Or it could also go back to first like this as well. So that's not very long. So what I like to do for this is do a Control-C, just Control-V and paste as many as you like. All right, so now let's try it. So you can see it stays on the screen longer that way. And then you have your free drawing option here. So let's say we wanted to do a few here. Let's just pick something random here. You could change it to pen. I'm going to do a size here. You could erase it, change your size here, rectangle, ellipse, highlighter. Right, so let's say so. We'll apply it. All right, see how that looks. Go from the start here. So you can see it stays in the frames that we applied it to. You have some other shapes. So progress bar is pretty cool. So you can pick bar or text. We're going to do the bar. You can change the color, the thickness, where you want to put it. All right, so let's select all the frames here, apply it. All right, let's go back to playback here. Reduce this down so we can see the whole thing. All right, so you can see our bar. Let's go to the starting here. So this will move across as the slides go until it gets to the end. So if you want to show an indication of how long the animated GIF is, you could use that. Then you can choose your mouse events if you want to change the color for the mouse click, add a border. And if you go negative, like I have it already, it'll put the border on the outside and kind of expand the overall size. If you don't, it'll put the border on the inside. And some shadow options here. And if you want to, lighten it or darken it or blur, you could use this. And you could add a watermark if you want. So I have this one here. If you click on select, just pick whatever image you want. If you're going to have something clear, make sure it's like a transparent PNG file, otherwise you'll have a background. You just put it wherever you like. Apply it to all the frames here. Let's check this out. So now we have our image that's on top of our animated GIF. All right, then we have some transitions as well. So the fade is not going to do much if the image is similar. So if I put it between these two, it's not going to do much. So let's see how it works between this. Let's just bump this up a bit for make it a little more drastic. You can see it fades in to the next slide there. See if we can actually undo this. All right, so now we'll try sliding in between these two. See, it slides in. Of course, you probably want to slow it down to make it more noticeable. All right, so let's say you have everything done here. We could do a save as. Give it a name. So I have this name that I kept from last time. Click on save. All right, completed. So here's our file right here. So we'll play it and see how it looks. Just like that. All right, let's see how big this file is here as well. It's at 2 megabytes, so not too bad for that animated GIF file. So of course, the more frames you have, the larger the file is going to be, so keep that in mind. So you might want to come to the edit mode here and reduce the frame count or remove duplicates if you find it's too many frames or if your file is too large. All right, so as you can see, it's a pretty cool program if you're into making animated GIFs, or if you just want to do a little quick demonstration and not have to make a big video file that you have to host somewhere else because it'll be too big to email. So you can actually keep it pretty small, and then you might even be able to zip it up to reduce it even more. All right, so I will put a link in the description where you can download ScreenToGif and you can try it out for yourself. All right, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.